What is happening in Gaza? Is global cooperation on the brink? And what are 16 nations demanding right now? You're watching Legends Nexus, and we've got the breaking news you need to know. Get ready. First up, the Future of International Cooperation Report 2025 is here, detailing critical pathways for global justice, human rights, and innovation. We're diving deep into how institutions can foster more equitable societies and tackle the urgent challenges facing our world. Get ready for some eye-opening insights. Then, a seismic UN report drops, alleging that Israel has committed acts amounting to genocide in Gaza. This bombshell finding could fundamentally alter Israel's international standing and spark unprecedented accountability. We'll break down the implications and what this means for global justice. And finally, a coalition of 16 nations is making a powerful demand for the protection of aid flotillas heading to Gaza, calling for strict adherence to international law. Is this a turning point for humanitarian efforts? Stick around as we uncover it all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Global Justice at a Crossroads. The Future of Cooperation Report 2025 is here. Acute injustices within and between nations are threatening global stability, but a new report offers a roadmap. The Future of International Cooperation Report 2025, released by the Doha Forum, Legends Nexus, and the Global Institute for Strategic Research, examines how global and regional governance can drive progress toward more just societies. It spotlights vital principles like fairness, representation, accountability, and transparency, essential for reforming political judicial systems, bridging socioeconomic gaps, and advancing environmental justice. The report leverages insights from recent summits like the Summit of the Future and the upcoming World Social Summit in Doha to propose actionable strategies, including expanding the jurisdiction of the ICJ and ICC, bolstering economic and social rights through UN Human Rights Council innovations, and strengthening compliance mechanisms in regional environmental agreements. This comprehensive analysis aims to maximize generational opportunities by fostering collaboration among governments, civil society, and international organizations to create a safer, more prosperous, and sustainable future for all. Public reaction is building around the report's bold recommendations, with many experts highlighting its potential to reshape international policy. Analysts are particularly focused on the proposed reforms for global and regional judicial bodies and the emphasis on environmental justice as key drivers for change. But what does this mean for ongoing conflicts and international law? Next, we're breaking down a UN report that has sent shockwaves through the international community, alleging genocide in Gaza. UN report alleges genocide in Gaza, a turning point for Israel. The latest report from the UN Independent International Commission of Inquiry has delivered a devastating verdict, alleging that Israel has committed acts amounting to genocide in the Gaza Strip. This 72-page document meticulously details 4 key practices: killing, causing serious physical and psychological harm, inflicting conditions calculated to destroy the Palestinian people, and implementing measures to prevent births. Such a characterization places Israel before one of the gravest charges in international law, obligating the global community to act not only in condemnation, but also in prevention and punishment. The report opens multiple judicial avenues, including potential cases before the International Court of Justice, which is already considering South Africa's suit against Israel, and the International Criminal Court, with authority to prosecute Israeli leaders for war crimes. Despite Israel's categorical rejection and claims of bias, its international legitimacy is facing an unprecedented crisis, with human rights organizations and Western academics echoing similar concerns. This situation draws parallels to the isolation faced by apartheid South Africa, potentially paving the way for economic sanctions and diplomatic restrictions against Israel. The United States finds itself in a precarious position, balancing domestic pressure from human rights advocates against its significant political and military support for Israel, while Europe's response remains divided. The Global South, meanwhile, views this as an opportunity to champion international justice and expose Western double standards. The repercussions for Israel could include intensified boycotts, demands to halt arms exports, and mounting public pressure on Western governments to reassess relations. Crucially, the report also holds supporting governments accountable, as history warns that ignoring genocide allegations can lead to accusations of complicity. The international community's response to this UN report is a critical test of the global system's credibility. Failure to act could render international law a mere reflection of power dynamics rather than justice, undermining confidence in the existing order and providing rising powers with grounds to challenge the Washington-led international system. This report is more than a document. It's a global wake-up call, presenting Israel with its most severe legitimacy crisis and the West with a profound moral and political challenge. Will this seismic report lead to concrete action or further division? Coming up, we'll look at the specific accusations and Israel's defiant response to these damning UN findings. Israel accused of genocide by UN Commission. The specifics emerge. A groundbreaking report from the United Nations Independent International Commission of Inquiry has concluded, with reasonable grounds, that Israel has committed genocide in Gaza. This finding, based on the 1948 UN Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide, details 4 specific acts: killing Palestinians, causing serious bodily or mental harm, deliberately inflicting conditions of life calculated to bring about destruction, and imposing measures intended to prevent births. The Commission also pointed fingers at Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, President Isaac Herzog, and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, accusing them of incitement to genocide. Israel has vehemently rejected the report, labeling it as distorted, false, and reliant on Hamas falsehoods, calling for the Commission's abolition. Israel's representative to the UN, Daniel Meron, claimed the report cherry-picked data and reiterated Israel's commitment to international law, its goal to dismantle Hamas, and its efforts to minimize civilian harm and facilitate humanitarian aid. These denials come as Netanyahu and Gallant already face arrest warrants from the International Criminal Court for crimes against humanity and war crimes, and Israel is embroiled in a genocide case at the International Court of Justice, brought by South Africa. The International Association of Genocide Scholars has also passed a resolution stating Israel's actions meet the legal definition of genocide, a stance Israel's foreign ministry dismissed as an embarrassment. Meanwhile, the IDF announced an expansion of ground operations in Gaza City, even as the UN reports nearly 1 million Palestinians face daily bombardment and compromised access to survival means, with famine conditions worsening and an estimated 82% of Gaza under Israeli military occupation or displacement orders. The casualty figures, while contested, paint a grim picture of the ongoing conflict. With such serious allegations and ongoing military actions, what's being done to ensure aid reaches those in desperate need? We'll explore a powerful international demand for the protection of a Gaza-bound aid flotilla next. 16 nations demand protection for Gaza aid flotilla, upholding international law. In a significant show of international solidarity, 16 countries have jointly issued a powerful statement demanding the protection of the global Sumud flotilla, a fleet carrying activists and vital humanitarian aid destined for the Gaza Strip. Released by South Africa's Foreign Ministry, the statement emphasizes that the flotilla's mission aligns with their government's commitment to peace and respect for international humanitarian law. The nations are calling for a complete refrain from any unlawful or violent acts against the flotilla, warning that any attack in international waters or illegal detention of participants will trigger accountability. The signatories include Turkey, Qatar, Bangladesh, Brazil, Colombia, Indonesia, Ireland, Libya, Malaysia, the Maldives, Mexico, Pakistan, Oman, Slovenia, South Africa, and Spain. The flotilla, which began its journey from Barcelona and Genoa in late August, has seen vessels departing from Tunisian ports, preparing to sail towards Gaza to challenge the ongoing Israeli blockade and establish a much-needed humanitarian corridor. This convoy, the largest of its kind, aims to deliver aid to Palestinians facing famine conditions exacerbated by months of closure. The statement serves as a critical reminder of international obligations amidst a devastating conflict where, according to reports, nearly 65,000 Palestinians have been killed since October 2023, with the enclave rendered largely uninhabitable. This strong international stance highlights the urgent need for humanitarian access. But will it be enough to ensure safe passage and address the broader crisis? We've covered a lot of ground today, from global cooperation reports to critical UN findings and international demands. Stick around for a rapid-fire recap and our full call to action. All right, Legends, that's a wrap on today's critical updates. We've seen the Future of International Cooperation Report 2025 lay out a vision for global justice, a UN report alleging genocide in Gaza that's shaking Israel's international standing, and 16 nations uniting to demand protection for aid reaching Gaza. What a packed show. If you found this breakdown essential, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to Legends Nexus for more in-depth analysis, and ring that notification bell so you're always in the loop. Let us know your thoughts on these massive global events in the comments below, and follow us on all our social platforms for real-time updates. We'll see you next time.